The following program has been rated 18 by the Kenya Film Classification Board. It contains scenes suitable for adults only.
I'm Noam Orr and you're watching BrandPlus TV, the Cellar Liquor Edition. Today, as you can see, we're a bit in a different environment. Today, we have outdoor special episode for you guys. This episode is going to be shooting in two parts. Next week, we're going to do the first ever Israeli wine tasting at the Maasai Mara, in the middle of the bush with elephant, giraffes, and hopefully some lions. Today, we went outside of Nairobi to show you that nightlife and exciting culinary event can happen not only indoors. We are here in amazing Tigoni in the lake house, courtesy of Yummy Eatout magazine. Basically what's happening in this beautiful lake today is exclusive event that happens once a month, courtesy of Yummy magazine. They're flying international chefs to cook for 3 days dinner on the lake. As you can see, this raft going to move later on, and our guests going to have dinner in the middle of this beautiful spot. Today we have an international Israeli chef called Felix from Tel Aviv. If you know, Tel Aviv is one of the biggest culinary cities in the Western world. And the wine is going to be courtesy of Baraka Israeli wine. Now, I'm going to start with a bit of a glass of a Shiraz. In a few minutes, the guests are going to arrive, and we're going to have a lot of things for you. Cheers. Hey guys, so as I promised, here to introduce you, the famous Israeli chef Felix Rosenthal. Cheers, Felix.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Right, so I want to introduce Felix because Felix has so much thing to tell about himself. One thing I have to say about him, he's one of the most famous, leading, handsome young chefs in Israel. Right, Felix, tell us a little bit first about yourself.
I'm 33 years old, lives in Tel Aviv. Today we have 2 restaurants. We mostly cook Mediterranean kitchen. It's a little bit of Israeli, Spanish, Italian, Palestinian, Lebanese, Syrian, with personal interpretation of me.
But the best cuisine is Israeli wine, right?
The Israeli cuisine these days are really influenced from all the areas that there is, and I think as soon as the chefs got it.
Now, let's talk about Israeli cuisine. The reason why you came to this beautiful country, Kenya, is to cook Israeli food. So just tell our guests what you are planning for them today.
Today we brought local ingredients from Kenya, from Nairobi, I guess. We got goats and lambs and red snappers.
Naima Choma?
Sorry?
He's new here, doesn't know. Yeah, I'm going to do Israeli Naima Choma. I'm going to do the first time ever. Naima Choma is a leg of a goat, right?
Yeah.
On grill.
Yeah. We did it last night only for us, and it was really good, and this is what's cooking there right now.
Hold that 1 second. I want to smell what's cooking over there right now. This is what's cooking right now. I don't want to mess up the cooking. Right, so we have Israeli Naima Choma. What else we have?
We have a huge red snapper.
How huge?
A local one, like 4 kilos. It's pretty big for a red snapper.
Like a baby.
From my experience in red snappers in Israel.
Right.
And a really good quality. We got lots of vegetables, eggplants, carrots, spinach.
Israeli wine.
Israeli wine. And I think we're going to make a Israeli bread, a pita bread, with za'atar that you brought for us.
Yeah, let me show you what za'atar is. 1 second. It's very interactive.
No,
show.
the
We
za'atar
go, we
is
come,
the,
we
like
do.
a
That's
big
right.
weed.
Now, it's not what you think. It doesn't look like a 1 kg of something illegal. Za'atar, it's a mix of 10 different spices of herbs made in the Middle East, especially in the area of Israel, Lebanon, and Syria. The smell of it, this is Israel. The smell of it is home. You can't smell it by the TV, but trust me, it's unbelievable. You're going to use it today as well?
Yeah, sure.
What you going to use that?
For the pita bread and for the meats after it, for salads.
Excellent. All right, so this is what basically we have today. But the most important thing, you've been here for almost 3-4 days.
Yeah.
Now, I've been here a little bit longer, so I know what my opinion about the culinary and nightlife scene of Nairobi. But as an outsider, we just arrived. What do you think? What is the vibe that you got? What is your input about this amazing city?
I think that the culinary is now the Nairobi people have is a really big passion for it. Lots of chefs, lots of cuisines.
This is friendship, you see? Empty wine, we feel that's friendship.
I think that the nightlife of Nairobi it's really interesting and really, like in Israel we say, a big one.
Israel we say yalla balagan.
And it's like, I guess, what I speak with chefs and cooks, that's like for every year it's getting better and better and better and better ingredients, better customers, everything is getting much better. The suppliers are more and more in Nairobi, like
Me?
like you. And eventually we're gonna have here, like a city of foodies. And
It is. I have to say that I've been here a year and a half, and the amount of restaurants that I saw open in the last 6 months only,
it's huge.
it's huge. No, Tel Aviv, it's called the city that never sleeps, because you can go and have dinner, breakfast, lunch every hour of the day.
Yeah.
But in Nairobi, the passion of people have about food and nightlife and culinary and innovation is unbelievable. Maybe it's because it's a hub for a lot of international people. Maybe it's because this African market is booming. But I can say, as a guest here for a year and a half, every day I'm finding something new. Right, Felix, you need to make the Israeli lamb achoma. I need to make some cocktails. Pleasure to meet you again. We'll see you later. L'chaim. See you guys. The evening just getting started. Quick history about the Israeli wine, and then we can start eating and drinking. The Israeli wine industry go back 3,000 years ago. The modern industry go back only 100 years ago. We only made good wine in the last 30 years. Before that, the Israeli wine was complete rubbish. Honestly. Now the Israeli wine is famous all over the world. It's won gold medal, going to competition as you can taste. Today we chose again with Felix 3 wines. First going to be semi-dry Riesling. When we're going to pour it, we're going to talk about it. Then for the mid course, we're going to have a dry Chardonnay that aged 5 months in oak barrel. And for the main course, we have a medium body dry Shiraz from the oldest winery in Israel, Tepperberg. They are making wine in Jerusalem more than 150 years. All of the Israeli wine are guaranteed hangover free because we don't need a lot of sulfites, so almost organic. And without further introduction, enjoy your evening. We're going to start pouring the wine. If someone wants to add, if he didn't board the flight, just tell us. And in the end, we're doing more cocktail and more wine. Felix, you have the floor. I'm going to get you all guys drunk. Enjoy. Hey guys, welcome back. You are watching the Cellar Liquor Edition in BrandPlus TV. I'm Noam Orr, and we're here in the middle of the Lake House Tigoni Israeli dinner with Israeli wine. And here we have
Lizzie Kosterbeer, and I'm so excited and delighted that I'm here with Noam tasting Baraka wines.
Awesome.
Excellent.
What do you think about the evening, Lizzie? How was the food so far?
It's fantastic. It's very unique, something that I've not been to before, new and tested. And Nairobi's full of different things, different people, different cultures, and to experience the taste of both Israeli food from an international chef, Felix, and a
Isn't it a cute chef, right?
It's very cute.
He's here with his wife, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. But the evening is excellently delicious food. A lovely evening to spend, and basically it's something that's very unusual and something I haven't done before.
Yeah, I think the way that the organism see the people, that you mingle and you meet so many new people. You have like half of the crowd are actually Israeli, they live in Nairobi. Other part are Kenyan, you have tourists as well.
Exactly.
So it is like this table over here, it's a cosmopolitan of Nairobi. International multicultural city that present amazing food and amazing nightlife and amazing everything basically.
It's basically Nairobi's fusion.
Exactly.
It's who I am. Different cultures, different people, different tastes of life. It's what Nairobi is.
What dish did you like the most during the dinner?
I love them all. But if I had to single them out, I think I'd love the fish.
And which one you like the most?
The rosé.
That's my favorite.
Thank you.
That's my favorite. Right, great guys. Let's check it out again. Let's see what the chef is cooking, and we'll come back later. See you.
Cheers.
Cheers. So we're basically about to finish the dinner at Tigoni Lake House, the Israeli chef, and we're here with the beautiful
Claire. My name is Claire Karatu.
Right, Claire. So first of all, tell us what do you think about the evening so far?
Oh, the evening has been amazing. I must mention the fact that I am so stuffed right now. The chef has been throwing it down. So basically, you sit down and you get served like meal after meal after meal. I can't even count the number of meals I've had tonight. And the wine was amazing, paired perfectly with every single one of the
Which
dishes.
one you like the most?
I loved the Shiraz. No, actually, Chardonnay was one of my favorite because it paired. Funny thing, you guys paired a white wine with the goat meat, which is not normally done, but it was just as good because it paired perfectly with the perfect roast. So it was beautiful.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What do you think about Felix the chef?
Oh, Felix the chef was amazing. I love the fact that he was able to infuse a lot of the Kenyan flavors that we've got going here. That was the basic. Favorite part of
Is that
my night.
your first time eating Israeli food?
Well, no, but I must say the fact that he's actually incorporated a lot of the Kenyan flavors into the meals with hummus. Who would have thought that you could mix hummus and goat meat? Delicious. Yeah. So it was pretty good. Yeah.
Now for the dessert, I don't know what the chef is making for us. I see some pineapple on the roast. I see some honey. I think we're gonna move for the last flight of the one of the day, guys.
Yeah.
So if you can join us, let's see what the chef is cooking for dessert.
Perfect. Thank you so
My
much.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Enjoy.
I'm Noam Orr and you're watching BrandPlus TV, the Cellar Liquor Edition. As I promised you, we are now in the second part of our amazing outdoor episode in the beautiful Maasai Mara. Now in the Israeli army we have a say, wherever you go, feel comfortable. And I can't be more comfortable with my Israeli wine. Cheers. Alright, so this episode we're going to film an Israeli wine tasting event, the first ever tasting of Israeli wine at the Maasai Mara, at the unbelievable Sand River Lodge. Now Sand River is located on the quiet part of the Maasai Mara. It's an exclusive, all-included lodge, and it's been operated more than 4 years. Now I have to say, I've been in many lodges as my time in Kenya, and this is without a doubt the nicer one. The food, the atmosphere, the vibe, the stuff, you will see it in a few minutes, it's really unbelievable. Now, I want to enjoy more of this amazing Gamla Riesling, but I think someone is calling me on the other side. Let's see what's going on over there. How are you?
Hey.
You need more wine?
Please, yes. Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right,
very
let me
much.
go over there as well.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay guys, so I just heard a lot of friends there that are coming to the wine tasting event, and I have to say, here in the Maasai Mara in the bush is the perfect place to do an Israeli wine tasting. Why do us? First of all, it's always good to do wine tasting, but Africa here is the cradle of civilization, and I don't know if you know that, but mankind had two important inventions. First was the wheel. Second of all was alcohol, and Israel is one of the most. Second of all was the alcohol. And Israel is the second place that produces alcohol on this planet. So basically what mankind did, invent the wheel, drive, alcohol, let's combine them. Don't do that. But here It's one of the most beautiful places I ever saw. And I think our guests are running away. Let me ask them if they want to join us for the wine tasting. Guys, the wine tasting is over there. No. Not that way, guys. No, over there. Free wine, guys, free wine. Where are you going? Guys. Guys, wait, I'm here. Guys. Ah, no, it's a buffalo. There, maybe it's there. I'm still on my way back to the camp. Hope I will find it before it will get too dark. Somebody put a bottle of Israeli rosé. Well, I guess I'm on the right track. In the meantime, let me give you a few interesting facts about the Maasai Mara. Besides the fact that it's just unbelievable beauty over here, the Maasai Mara is the biggest and the most famous game reserve in East Africa. In my opinion, it's number one, better than Tanzania. Now, in this reservation, you can find more than 70 unique animals, including all of the big five. And another interesting and not to my advantage fact, the Maasai Mara is the land of the cats. Lions, cheetahs, you name it, they got it here. Now, for me, it's a bad news. I think I need to find my way back sooner the better. I think I can see Johan, the manager of the Sand River, on the head. Let me see if I can catch a ride with him. John, yo! John! Oh man, I can't believe I just found you.
How are you? What have you got there? Is that Israeli wine?
No? Well, yes, but what do you care?
What are you doing out here with it? Are you sharing?
My wine.
No.
No, actually it is, but it's for the wine tasting event in the camp. And man, I just got lost. Where the hell is the camp? You're not helping. Where are you going? Can you give me a lift?
Give me wine, so.
Well, you have to wait for the wine. Can you give me a lift?
Okay.
Alright, cool. You ready?
Jump in.
Right.
Let's go.
Let's go. Wait, you said the camp is over there.
No, I think it's that way. Oh, wait, hang on. Maybe it's this way.
You'll get the privilege to sample all of our wine. What's going to happen today? Very fun, very light wine tasting. We're not going to bombard you with a lot of high phrases about wine. We just tell you about our small history of winemaking in Israel that only go back 3,000 years. Now I'll give you a heads up. Roughly 25 minutes after the second glass, I'm going to be a bit tipsy and my English is going to be a bit broken. So if something is not understood, just tell me and I will try to say it again. If you have any questions, feel free. It's a very casual, fun event and we can good to go. First of all, let me tell you about our connection to our religion. So Judaism and wine have a strong connection that go back since forever. Every Jewish kid in the age of 8 days gets circumcised. It's very painful. I still have a trauma every time I see scissors. Whenever it happened, the rabbi gives the small baby a sip of wine. So we actually started to drink after 8 days. We have 2 holidays that it's mandatory in our Holy Book, the Bible, to drink wine. We have Passover, that we have to drink 4 glasses of wine and ask 4 questions. Usually what happens when we reach the 4th glass, we forget the question. We have another holiday called Purim, that's equivalent to the... Hi guys, how are you? We're doing a beer tasting today. No, wine tasting. Purim, it's like Halloween. We have to dress up, and I swear, we have to drink until we pass out. It's called until we know no more. Before a Jewish man doing the biggest mistake of his life or the bad decision of his life, to get married, you have to break a glass of wine. So wine and Judaism have a strong connection. Between the 14th to the 19th century, something happened in the Middle East that prevent winemaking in Israel. Can you guess what it was? So I will tell you what it was. The Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire, the Turks, controlled the Middle East for 500 years. Another Muslim regime, it wasn't allowed to drink alcohol. There's only one family, and it's that family. Its name is Steppenberg, that was able to make wine for religious purposes. They're making wine more than 160 years, and you're going to try them today. So basically, the new modern wine industry in Israel happened in 1883. In 1883, a very wealthy and famous Jewish banker from France named Edmond Rothschild came to Israel and opened the second biggest winery in the world in Israel, and nobody knows that. From that, Israel started to produce wine. Was it good? Absolutely not. It was very poor quality wine. Nobody outside of Israel, besides Jewish community in the world, drink Israeli wine. The only reason why they drink Israeli wine for religious purposes, because wine is a holy in our religions. That all changed in 1983, almost 100 years. In 1983, the Golan Heights Winery was opened. The Golan Heights Winery is that winery. It's a winery that's located on the highest mountain in Israel, the Golan. It's 1,000 meters above sea level. The reason why it's considered to be the best winery in Israel, the soil is volcanic. What happened during the day, the sun hit the soil accumulated of the sun like iron and released it by night. So the grapes get twice as much sunlight, making them lose much more flavor. Now that's the official reason. My opinion why the Golan Heights Winery is the best winery in Israel, because out of 5 winemakers in the winery, 3 of them are women, and women always do better things than men. Today we're going to drink Riesling, Chardonnay, that's dry. We're going to talk about the difference between semi-dry, dry, and sweet. We're going to drink 2 kinds of rosé. We're going to drink 2 red, Cabernet Sauvignon and Shiraz. Is my English okay so far? Good. All right, so first of all, we're going to start to pour the white wine. You can change the glasses, put them up. Please, before we drink, wait for me. Let's just pour, and then we're going to talk about what we're drinking. Right, so basically, on your left glass, you have wine from the Tepperberg Winery. Tepperberg Winery, that's the oldest winery in Israel. They are making wine in Jerusalem more than 150 years. The name of the wine is Israeli. The label is the shape of the states of Israel. This is the Mediterranean and this is Israel. The winery is located basically here. On the left, the Israeli Tepperberg Riesling is semi-dry, semi-sweet. It's a bit bubbly. It presents a lot of fragrance of grapefruit, apricot, peach. Now usually, I don't like to say my opinion about the wine because then people get stuck with that notion. So smell it a bit. Tell me what you think about it. Right? So this is the semi-dry Riesling of the Golan, of the Tepperberg. Now don't drink it yet, just smell it. Now take the big glass, the Gamla. Now, the Gamla wine coming from the Golan Heights Winery. The name of the wine, the label is Gamla. Gamla in Hebrew, that means camel. One of the mountains on the Golan Heights, that's the border between Israel to Syria, the shape of the mountain is like a camel. That's why it's called Gamla. In this mountain, in the year 70, there was a big battle between the Roman to the Jordanian warrior. The Jordanian warrior were in siege. The Roman managed to kill 5,000 Jews. The other 4,000 prefer to commit suicide and rather be slaves. Now, this is a very depressing story. I don't know why I told you that. You don't even drink yet. We'll come back to it after. Now, let's smell the Gamla one. The Gamla is semi-dry over dry. When we talk about dryness in wine, we talk about the amount of sugar per liter of wine. Dry wine, that's mean in 1 liter we have between 0 to 5% gram of sugar. Semi-dry, it's a bit more sweeter, between 5 to 10. Semi-sweet, between 10 to 15. And the most popular wine in Kenya, the sweet, is 20 gram and above. That's pure diabetic. Don't drink sweet wine. Right, as you can see, the Gamla one is a little bit more heavy. By the fragrance, tell me which one you prefer. The Tepperberg one, the semi-sweet, or the Gamla, the semi-dry? What do you prefer? The Gamla. No, the Israeli one, the Tepperberg. Yeah. Who prefer the Gamla one? Who prefer the Tepperberg? I prefer both of them. Now, the way we drink wine, we use all of our senses. First, we have to use our sight. Now, it's a bit darker. You can't really tell, but when you compare both wine on the white page, if it be daylight, you can see that the Gamla it's much more yellowish. Second of all, nose. We try the fragrance to see which one we like. Third, sound. Let's listen for the wine for a second. Here, hold your glasses and listen to the wine. I can't believe we just did that. When we do use the sound like that. Cheers. Now, why do we do that? Do you know? There's a historical reason for that. On the old days, like 1,000 years ago, countries went to war. When nightfall came, both of their armies retreat, and they had a feast. Guys, it's a bit disturbing. They had a feast between both of the king. One genius guy, probably Jew guy, came to an idea. We're going to have a dinner with our enemy. Let's poison his wine. The first time it worked perfectly. The enemy king drank a glass of wine. The next day, didn't wake up, finished the war. Second time, they understand that something was off. So what they did in every feast, they filled the wine glass all the way up. And when they did cheers, clink, my wine came into yours, and your wine came to mine. So if you poison me, you're going to die as well. Fourth sense, taste. How are we going to properly taste the wine? We're going to sip a bit, take a bit of air, play it around in the palate, left, down, up, and right, all of the taste buds, and then swallow. The last and the most important thing, how are we going to hold the wine glass? We're not going to hold the wine glass like that, because the body heat will warm the wine. We're not going to hold it like that, because we're not snobs. We're going to hold it with the legs. In Israel, we say L'chaim, guys. That's cheers. L'chaim. Let's try the first one. Tell me what you think. Enjoy. A bit of bubble in the end. Very, very light, very, very gentle. The best thing about Israeli wine, I didn't tell you that, Israeli wine don't give you hangover. Really. Because the way we make wine in Israel, we don't need a lot of bisulfite. So we don't have this chemical inside of the wine, so it's hangover free. And Lori, you will see by the end of the evening, you won't get any headache. Now let's try the second one. And after you try, tell me which one you prefer. Now, if you can clean your glass. When I'm saying clean, I mean drink it. Nobody pour the Israeli wine aside. Let's try to think the name Chardonnay. Where is it from? Guess. The person who has the correct answer will get a flight ticket to Israel or a bottle of wine. My judgment. France? Alright, maybe?
Israel.
Why Israel?
That wasn't the question.
Okay, for that you get the empty bottle of wine. Alright, let me tell you about little bit of a history. So, in the 12th centuries, the Crusaders, why you don't drink the Chardonnay? You want to try? So in the 12th century, the Crusader came to the Holy Land to liberate Israel, liberate Jerusalem. We're not going to talk into politics because Israel don't like to talk about politics for good reason. They did a lot of nasty stuff, but they liberated Jerusalem. And then they saw a beautiful grapes of wine. They never saw it before. It was the first time they saw it. Now, they didn't know how to call it. In French, the soil have a very strong significance. All of the great French wines named by the name of the soil. Chateau Mounier, Chateau Lafite, Chateau Petrus, that's the name of the castle. Chablis, it's a village from France that make delicious Chardonnay. So they saw these beautiful grapes, they look where they're standing, and they saw that they're standing in the gate of God in Jerusalem. And gate of God in Hebrew, how do we say gate of God in Hebrew, if you know? Shar Adonai. Shar, it's gate, Adonai, it's God. So Chardonnay basically is gate of God. Now I just made it up like the man. So that's the myth behind the Chardonnay. Chardonnay, it's a dry white. It's the only white grape that go age in oak barrel. The reason why we age wine in barrel is to get first fragrance from the oak, flavor, and let the wine rest after the harvest and the fermentation. The Chardonnay aged 5 months in oak, but surprisingly it's not so heavy and oaky. When you taste it, you see it's a bit of Sauvignon Blanc. Usually Chardonnay have a smell of rotten cheese, like blue cheese or wet wood. Now let's drink the Chardonnay and see what you think about it. I have a lot of clients in Nairobi that hate Chardonnay, but they love that Chardonnay because it's not typical Chardonnay, it's very, very light. Now today we have in total around 8 wines, so drink a lot of water. Usually, to save money, a lot of winemakers will reuse the barrel. In the Golanites winery, they will use it only twice, maximum 3 times, then they will sell it to other wineries. This is a very light Chardonnay, and the good thing about it, that it doesn't have the heaviness and the crispiness. In hot sunny days, it's really, really good combination. Next, we're gonna move to the Rosé. Now, if I'm a bit hairy with the wine, it's okay. We can talk about politics, we have time. To make rosé wine, we start the process with the skin of the red grape, but between 3 to 6 days, we remove the skin. So the color is not too strong. We have 2 rosé that we're gonna sample. I don't know if you can see by the color. Tell me which one have more exposure to the skin. You're absolutely right. So first we're gonna pour the Israeli Tepperberg Rosé. On the label it's shown semi-sweet. Actually it's semi-dry. It's my favorite. And the reason is that it presents a perfect balance between sweetness and dryness. It's not too sweet, it's not too dry. It's just in the correct spot. Then we have the Gamla Rosé. Now the Gamla Rosé is very interesting wine. The grape is Syrah. Syrah is coming from France. As you can see, it's almost red. It's very heavy rosé. It's very dry, like the Israeli desert. This wine needs to breathe. Usually when people try it for the first time, most of the people are like, I don't like it. When they try it a few minutes after, they love it. So what I request, if you have extra glasses on the table, I'm gonna pour you, try it, don't waste it, put it aside, and we're gonna come back to it after, all right? You're gonna start pouring the semi-dry on the big glass, I'm gonna on the small glass, all right. Now, guys, let's smell the Gamla one, the dry one, the heavy one. You can feel, you can smell a bit of oak. What else comes to mind when you smell it? Like, I smell my grandmother shepherd pie, my mother hummus. You know, all of this fragrance, like, this is the light, this is the dark. Here's the Gamla. Yeah, in the dark. Cheers. Now, rosé in Kenya, it's not popular. You can find a lot of sweet rosé. You can't find a lot of dry rosé. To be honest, this is our last selling wine. We have around 20 private clients. They buy it, but when they buy by bulk because they cannot find a dry rosé. Right. Try, tell me what you think. L'chaim. Full-bodied. Now, when we talk about wine as full body or medium body, we talk about that. Raise your glasses up and swirl a bit. Now, you can see that on the top there is a crown. And then we have drops. We call it angel tears. Why? Because the Israeli wine is so good, when angels drinking, they cry. If we can see the tears go down, that means it's a full body wine. Now compare it to the Tepperberg Rosé and tell me which one is more full body. The Gamla one or the Tepperberg? Straight like that? The Gamla one, definitely. Even animals love Israeli wine. This rosé is really, like, usually on Sundays, all of the restaurants that we sell it, sold out like that, because it's such a fun wine. And wine is all about having fun. Right, try it, tell me what you think. Compare to sweet wine in Kenya, it's not sweet. It's semi-dry.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. You can get drunk of it like that without even... By the way, I have 10 cases in my room if someone wants to go. I'm kidding. 9. The Shiraz, it's a grape that's coming from originally France. But in 1838, a French wine importer immigrated to Australia. He brought a few grapes of Shiraz, of Syrah, with him. He planted the Syrah grape, that's a French grape, in Australian land. When the years passed by, the name Syrah changed to Shiraz. So the Shiraz and the Syrah is basically the same grape, different name and complete different flavor. Why is that? Why the same grape in different countries have different flavors? Soil, weather. So the thing that affects most of grapes is the climate. What is the climate in France? Cold, exactly. Cold make the wine be a bit sweet. Now I'm not talking about sweet like lemonade, I'm talking a bit sweet compared to wine that grow in a hot country that make the wine a bit bitter. So the Shiraz would be a little bit more bitter than the Syrah. The Shiraz, it's a medium body red, but it's like velvet. You don't get the aftertaste of the oak or the tannin. It's very, very smooth, like Israelis. And then we have the Cabernet Sauvignon. A Cabernet Sauvignon is the majestic red, considered to be the most quality red wine. The color of it. Now, guys, everybody have. Do you have the Cabernet and the Shiraz? Okay, hold the glasses to the page, on the page, not on the page. Yeah. No, I wish, like this. Like this. I don't know if you can see. Try to compare the colors. The halo. Okay, you already. You're there. You're there. You're there. Compare the colors if you can see. The halo of the Cabernet will be much more darker and burgundy. Now, professional sommeliers, not like me, I'm not professional. I'm professional, but professional sommelier can detect the grape only by the color of it. For example, a grape called Sangiovese from Italy is very, very pinky. A grape called Pinot Noir is much more delicate. So only from the color of it you can indicate. The Cabernet Sauvignon, if you always take two wines and you compare, the darker one most likely will be Cabernet Sauvignon. The fragrance of the Cabernet is much more oaky. Both of them age with oak, not in oak. It's a big difference. When we talk with the wine that age in oak, that means that with the wine age in wine barrels. Why I'm always doing that. With oak, that means in the fermentation tank we put oak chips, right? Both of them medium body. The Cabernet presents a little bit more round end and heaviness. Try both of them and tell me what you think. The Shiraz, it's much more gentle wine. You can drink it any occasion. The Cabernet needs a little bit more reinforcement like food. Which one you prefer, the Cabernet or the Shiraz? What do you prefer, guys, Shiraz or Cabernet? None of them? That's a bit insulting. No, I'm kidding. I'm just saying, I'm not making. Which one you prefer? Cabernet? Really, usually in Nairobi, like 90% love the Shiraz. Well, interesting crowd. Right, now, mingle a bit, talk among yourself. We're going to have a dessert one for you in a few minutes. Finish the glasses and we'll continue. The last wine we're going to have is a dessert wine. So, as I mentioned before, now I think now that we become friends and I'm a bit drunk and you're hopefully a bit drunk, I can sit here. I said I can sit. I can sing later. So as we said, wine has a very religious significance in Israel. Every Friday, it's mandatory for us to drink sweet wine to bless God. It's called Kiddush, blessing. So this is a blessing wine. It's called Masoret. Masoret in Hebrew, that means heritage. So this is a very rich, sweet wine. It's almost like port. Now, I'm not allowed to say port because it's not made of Portugal, but I don't care, it's port. It's rich of flavor, but the sweetness coming only from the grape. There is no sugar added. Guys, try, tell me what you think. We have a little bit more here if you want. If not, I'm going to finish it. All right, let me do a quick survey. Who prefer out of the 8 the sweet sangria? Wow! Who preferred the rosé, the Israeli Tepperberg rosé? Okay? I'm with you, bro. I like it as well. Who preferred that rosé, the Tepperberg one, the sweet one? Yeah. The dry one? Do you still have the dry one on the glass, or you didn't listen to me and you drink it? Okay, tomorrow again, the same hour, we're doing rosé tasting. Who prefer the Gamla Riesling? Yes. Good, because I have a very sad story to tell you. No. So, really, yeah, something like that. So basically, do you know this story or you just guess? So, the Gamla Riesling is a very unique Riesling. Most of the Riesling, and actually we talk about it today, that in this camp, not a lot of people drink the Riesling. And I asked John, why? Because a lot of people are very intimidated of Riesling because the reputation of it is a sweet wine. This one is not sweet, it's dry of dry. Now when people in Nairobi taste it, they get addicted to it. There's no Riesling like it. But, and here's the sad story, the vineyard got hit by a fungus in December. So the winery had to burn a few thousand of acres of the grapes. Now in Israel, to make wine, to make kosher wine, you have a few processes. One of the processes when you plant a vineyard, you have to let it grow for 4 years. So we got only 2,000 bottles in January for the next 4 years, and we are down to the 210 bottles in 6 months. This is how good it is. Actually, Elwana just ordered another 150. So you're going to be the only one that's going to have it. So that's a sad story about it. It's more sad for me because not to you. So that's the reasoning. Who preferred the semi-sweet one? We have more if you want to. Just let you know. And out of the red, who preferred the Shiraz or the Cabernet? Shiraz? Cab? Yeah, you told me, everybody. All right. Guys, thank you very much. That was our Israeli wine tasting event. Thank you. My pleasure. We have a few more wines open if you want. I think you need to have dinner. We can pour you more of the sweet Riesling if you want.